Hey guys, I'm actually in Penrith. If you can't tell by my hat and the shirt that I'm wearing, I literally just came out of seeing Father Stu, which is I would classify it as the classic biopic, which is a genre of film I don't generally gravitate towards. It's a biopic. Of course, I've got to hear that song in the background. It's about a man who pretty much went from semi-pro boxer into becoming a priest, which is a unique route. And during that particular journey, he does actually develop a disease. How can I put this politely? That slowly kills him. So this movie is very, very raw at parts. And I think Mark did a great job portraying this man. I know nothing about Father Stan's actual journey as I am a Salvationist, so I don't really know a lot about everything that goes into being a Catholic, but I do know Mark is a Catholic himself. He actually helped fund this movie, and it really is what I would call a passion project for Mark. But other than that, I think it's well shot, well cast, and I think it's so well put together that it's actually a really beautiful watch. Unfortunately, it's one that you might have to hunt down. I would say probably you would have to pick it up when it eventually hits streaming or DVD. This is definitely one that I probably will pick up. I think it's a great, almost like a rags to riches story in a weird way, where a down on his luck guy finds God and really turns his life completely around. I think Mel does a great job of portraying his dad, Jackie. I think she's always bloody brilliant in whatever Jackie Weaver does. I've seen some of her Australian stuff, not a lot of American stuff, but I think as a passion project, which it clearly is, I think he definitely brought a lot of what I would say emotion. This is very more, I'll say, a grounded performance I've seen Mark, and I've seen some of Mark's work, including Uncharted, and I've seen his Transformer movies, but this is really Mark being very sincere and almost really down to earth, which is a very nice change of pace. And this doesn't have big explosions. It's not really to everyone's taste per se. But I think this is so well put together that you almost, how can I put this politely, forget that there's big explosions, and it's really down to characters and how characters are feeling. And yes, this is portraying a real guy, and he has real emotions, and I think the way Mark brought him to the screen was so lovely. And I think he really is, I'd say, a credit. And I would say, I don't know if Stanley actually got, Father Stan could actually, or Stewie, saw this, saw like an early draft or an early cut of this movie, or even a draft. But I would probably say, if he did have an opportunity to see this, I think, honestly, I would probably say, I would say he would probably be proud of it. It's probably not exactly to His Excellency's exact story, which most real stories aren't necessarily close to what is true about the person. I reckon they probably would have had a bit of fudging so they could fit this man's life into like a 3 hour, 2.5, 3 hour movie. But there's enough here, I think, that I would say captured it very well. And I think he would have been proud of what Mark and all of the guys did to bring this story to life in a very realistic way, without going really the sappy route. I think I've seen enough biopics to know this, and they can be very hit or miss. I think I would have to do more research on Father Stan to hazard a guess if this was really close to the man, but I would hazard to guess, if Mark was so passionate to bring this to the big screen and pour his own money into this and almost be a self-funded project, if it wasn't anywhere close to the real Monsignor, his life, he probably really wouldn't have done that. And he probably would have felt like he had a responsibility to bring this man's life to the big screen. The fact that he, even while suffering this condition, he still wanted to become a priest and still wanted to take that sacrament and actually don those robes, I think is a testament, I think, to Stan's character. That, yes, he had a girl. He could have honestly gone to her and would have been happy, but he took this illness that he had and almost turned it into, how can I put this politely, turned it into like a bonus where, yes, they could see he was clearly suffering, but that didn't stop him from doing what he wanted to do. He wanted to preach the word of God to whoever wanted to hear it. And I think that's a testament to the strength that the man had. Despite everything that this man had, he was an ex-boxer. He wanted to get into the movie business. He fell in love with a girl, and through that love of that girl, he found Christ. And then he had a near-death experience, and he came out of that, and he wanted to be a priest. I commend the man. And as a salvationist and a uniformed salvationist, I completely understand where Stan was coming from. Wanting to take that next step and put on the uniform. For me, it's a Salvation Army uniform. For him, it was a priest. I completely understand. And the fact that he wanted to do that and still had the absolute gumption to still go through it, I tip my hat off to the man. I'm literally wearing a hat. Question. Will I find this either at JB Hi-Fi or more likely Kurong? Will I add this to my DVD collection? I think I probably will. I had to hunt for this sucker. And if I'm willing to come out to Penrith, of all places, instead of my local, which is Parramatta or Mac Centre, that's a testament. The fact that I'm wearing his merch and I've had his burgers actually was a bit of a factor why I wanted to hunt this down. And the fact that I found out that Mark put his money towards it, really, I wanted to see why. And I think this will be a great, addition to Mark's resume. The fact, as I keep saying, he wanted to fund this. He wanted to bring Stan's story to the big screen. It's disheartening to me that it's about 2 weeks that it's been in the theaters and it's been absolutely slaughtered, and I mean that literally, by bloody Maverick, is a disservice to this movie. I think in the Bible Belt of America, I think this really would have taken gangbusters. And I think personally this might have been served better to be released at Easter time, not almost 2 weeks later. This would have been a perfect Easter movie to go and see. Now, I've seen plenty of those. I've seen Paul, also say Saul. I've seen a few Bible-based for Easter. I believe in America this was actually released on Easter weekend, and here was a little bit delayed. I think if it was released smack bang in the middle of Easter, or at least a couple of weeks before Easter, this would have done much better at the box office. And this movie, even if you're not from the faith and you're not Catholic and have no idea anything about Catholicism, which I don't, I think go in as a rags to riches story from a guy that went from nothing, say he went from a boxer to a Bible thumper in a weird way. He went from punching guys to wanting to bring them up. I think that's honourable, very honourable. This would I'll definitely be trying to hunt this down on DVD, having to bet see it be Blu-ray, more likely DVD. I think this would be a welcome addition to most movie lovers, but especially people that love real stories, real life stories, would thoroughly enjoy this movie. I, as a Marky Mark or Wahlburgers, this is a credible movie, and I think testament to you, Mark. Testament to you. Asthma people. If you want me to review another movie, now I know someone has asked me to do Midsummer. I've already been spoiled rotten on that movie. I prefer to see a movie that no one's seen. And Midsummer, I know too much about. Sorry. Please leave it in the comment section below. Do you want me to find all these a little bit more obscure movies? Real life movies? I would love to hear about it. And please like and subscribe. And let's see what other little gems I can find. Ciao.